I wasn't looking for anything. I swear I wasn't. Her phone was on the kitchen table. Screen dark, vibrating softly like it didn't want attention. She was in the shower. Water loud enough to cover everything. Steam creeping under the door. I only wanted to check the time. That's it. My phone was in the bedroom. Too far away for such a small thing. The screen lit up on its own. A message preview. A name I didn't recognize. Not a heart. Not a nickname. Just a man's name. And 3 words that didn't belong to me. I missed last night. I didn't open it. Didn't scroll. Didn't breathe for a second too long. I locked the phone and put it back. Exactly where it was. Same place. Same angle. Like I could rewind the moment. If I didn't disturb anything. The shower kept running. Like nothing had changed. But something in me already had. When she came out of the bathroom, her hair still wet, a towel wrapped around her shoulders, she smiled at me the way she always did, like nothing had happened. She asked if I wanted tea. I said yes, not because I did, but because saying no would have meant something was wrong. She moved around the kitchen, opening drawers she didn't need, touching things without using them, as if noise could replace honesty. Her phone stayed face down on the table. Not forgotten. Placed. I told myself people text friends. That 3 words can mean anything if you repeat that lie enough times. But the room felt smaller. Not physically. Emotionally. Like there wasn't enough space anymore for both the truth and the version of her I was still trying to believe in. That night I didn't sleep. Not really. I closed my eyes, but my mind stayed in the kitchen, next to her phone, replaying the same moment, until it stopped feeling like memory, and started feeling like a warning. She slept easily, too easily. At some point she turned toward me, her arm brushing mine, a familiar movement that used to mean comfort, and now meant distance. I wanted to ask her, not with anger, not with accusations, just quietly, like the right tone could turn betrayal into a misunderstanding. But I stayed silent, because once you ask, there is no going back to the version of your life where you don't know. Morning came too quickly. Sunlight through the blinds, dust in the air, the same room, but not the same feeling. She talked about work, about traffic, about a meeting she hated. I answered automatically, like I was reading lines from a script I didn't remember learning. Her phone stayed close to her, always in her hand, never on the table. I told myself I was overthinking, that love makes you paranoid, that I was just tired. But tired people don't imagine names. They notice them. One evening she said she had to stay late at work. Nothing unusual, just another sentence. I said okay, too easily. I made dinner for 1, left the lights on, in rooms I wasn't using. Her side of the bed stayed cold. Long after midnight, she came home quietly, moving through the apartment, like the silence was something she didn't want to wake. I didn't ask where she had been. She didn't offer anything. We kissed goodnight, like people who are afraid of saying too much. The next day she said she was meeting a friend after work, not a coworker, not overtime, a friend. I waited 10 minutes after she left, not because I planned to, because my body moved. Before my mind caught up, I drove behind her, keeping just enough distance to pretend I wasn't following. She didn't go anywhere we knew, didn't slow down, didn't turn toward home. She crossed parts of the city we never talked about, streets that didn't belong to us. I told myself I would turn back at the next light, at the next excuse, but the road didn't offer any. She parked near a small cafe I had never seen before. Not loud, not hidden, just unfamiliar enough to feel intentional. I stayed in the car, engine off, hands on the steering wheel, like I could still decide to be someone else. She checked her reflection in the window, smoothed her hair, took a breath. That didn't belong to me. I waited, not because I wanted to see him, because part of me still hoped no one would come. But the door opened again. A man walked in, nothing special about him. Ordinary jacket, ordinary walk. Then he saw her, and his face changed. Not surprise, not confusion, recognition. She stood up immediately, not hesitating, not checking the room. They hugged, not like people who haven't seen each other in a while, like people who are continuing something that never really stopped. I didn't wait to see them sit down. I didn't need to. The way his hand touched her back was already enough. Not dramatic, not rushed, familiar. I started the engine slowly, like noise could make it worse. I drove without knowing where, past streets I never noticed, past lights that didn't care. My phone buzzed at a red light. Her name on the screen. I didn't answer. A few seconds later, a message appeared. Plans changed. I'm heading home now. She was already home. When I walked in, shoes by the door, jacket on the chair, everything normal enough to pretend. She asked where I had been. I said I went for a drive. Not a lie, just not the whole one. We ate in silence, the TV talking for us. When we went to bed, she turned her back to me, not angry, careful. I lay there, watching the ceiling, finally understanding something I didn't want to know. You don't always lose someone in a fight. Sometimes you lose them in a cafe you never enter, to a man you never meet, on a night you pretend is just another night. If this story stayed with you, you can subscribe.